Hello, welcome to Dirt Rally 2.0 with Mistex24. It's been a few days since I've been back with a video. I have been driving this whole time, just some VR things, especially recording. I've been kind of trying to figure it out. This is kind of still trying to figure it out. We've got a weird issue now where I'm getting like a double screen on my main monitor while I'm in VR. There's like a smaller box and then a bigger box behind it, and they both have the image of the game in them, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to stretch it and make it look okay. I took a video of the recording inside and outside TV replays as well, so try to put together a video here. I am at Bondi Forest again at Monero, Australia, and we are in the Renault 5 Turbo. This car is awesome. This is the H3 class. And yeah, it's taken me a few days now. It's taken me about not really a day and a half, but I did drive it a few days ago. Got really close. I was 0.167 off of the world record. And then I came back tonight, actually tried some other cars, and then came back to this little guy because it is a lot of fun. It is just all turbo. Okay, so before we head down and watch the stage run, I'm going to look at the tune of the car today. So we have got, oh no, it is loaded up, okay. So for alignment, I am running zero toe on the front, negative 0.50 camber on the front. I think that's default. We're at positive 20 or 0.20 toe on the rear. And I am running negative 2.00 camber on the rear as well. The car slides quite a bit. After I got the sliding figured out, it was time to figure out the dampening, because it was really bouncy. It's still really bouncy, but I'll talk about that when I get there. Let's see your brake force. I have set it down to 1428 Newton meters and 66% brake bias, so more to the front. Let's see here. For rear LSD driving lock, at 4%. And the rear LSD braking lock, I have at 0. I've actually been setting this to 0 on quite a few cars. It really settles down the off-throttle rear end, wagging its tail all over the place uncontrollably, which some of these cars are really bad about it. The Stratos has got that problem a lot. Even the four-wheel drive Lancia Delta HF has that problem as well, which is quite strange for four-wheel drive if you ask me, but been doing that quite a bit, turning it to 0. The LSD preload, basically, I've been going pretty low on the driving lock, and I'll crank it up a bit as I go, and then I'll mess with the preload. And as you go up on the preload, the higher you go, the more it understeers, and the lower it is, the more the rear end is gonna slide out on you and stay slid out. Whereas when you turn it up higher, it'll still slide, but under power doesn't slide quite as much. It'll actually come back a little easier, so I just keep turning it up till it feels good. And as you can see, I've got 4% on the driving lock, so that's very, very low. Gearing, we are at 0.348 first gear, second gear 0.453, third gear 0.647, fourth gear 0.817, and fifth gear 0.990, and final drive I've set to 0.261. So pretty long gear ratio. This stage is pretty quick. There are some uphill sections as well, but there are some really fast sections where you'll hit top speed fairly easily in pretty much every car you drive. It's a balance between getting high enough top speed but still having enough acceleration to get through the other areas that are kind of up and down, tight corners. Let's see here. So for the front slow bump, I have it at +2. Front slow rebound, we're at -1. Slow bump at the rear, +3. And rear slow rebound is at -1. It seems like when I turn these slow bumps down below 0, and a lot of these cars, especially the rear-wheel drives, they seem to really slide a lot more, which I think is because the weight of the car is able to transfer a bit more, so the car leans more. I'm assuming that's what's happening. I mean, it is for bump absorption as well, but it does affect handling, so that's where we're at there. that's what I came up with for that anyway. And then the springs and the ride height were primarily for getting over the big jumps and some of the other really nasty bumps on this stage. So ride height, front and rear, or actually I guess, oh yeah, front and rear, 21.67 millimeters. Front spring rate, we are at 50.99. Anti-roll bar in the front, 15. Rear spring rate at 59.15. So a little bit softer on the front, a little bit firmer on the rear. So that does actually induce a bit of oversteer, with the front being softer. Rear anti-roll bar, we are at 2.0. So the rear roll bar is pretty soft. I think the front is default, I believe. All right, let's go check the stage run out. And then after the in-car stage, we'll go to the leaderboard, and then there will be an outside cam. All right, see you there.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 60 over crest, into 4 right long tightens, into keep left over crest. Caution 30, 5 right long tightens, 3 over crest. 60, over narrow bridge, 4 right, into 5 left over crest, very long tightens, opens, into 6 right over crest, 30, 5 left, 30, 5 right, tightens 3 long. Into 4 left over crest, 30, 4 right long over crest, into 5 left over dip, jump, 30 over bumps, to long crest, 30, 5 left, into 5 right long tightens, into 5 left over crest, into 5 right, and flat left, 60, flat of a jump maybe, 100, turn, square right, tarmac, 30, 5 left of a crest, into 4 right, opens of a crest, into 3 left, tightens toe, into 2 right long, into 3 left long of a crest, into 4 right long, into 6 left, opens of a jump maybe, into flat right, 30, 5 left extra long of a crest, to flat through grid and jump 200, tarmac, 4 right long tightens, to gravel, into 3 left long tightens, 30, 6 right of a jump, 50, 6 right long, tightens 5, into 4 left over crest tightens, into 5 right, 80, middle of a crest tarmac, slow 30, turn square left, 80, flat middle of a crest, 30, flat crest, into flat right, 80 over grid, to gravel, 30, 4 right long tightens, into 6 left of a crest, into 4 right long, tightens over crest, 30, tarmac, 2 left, tightens over ridge, 80, gravel, 3 right long, opens to keep middle of a crest, 30, keep middle of a crest, then slow 30, turn square right, 30 over bumps, 4 left of a crest, into 5 right, into 5 left of a crest, into 5 right of a grid, into 5 left of a crest, 6 right of a bump, 30, flat crest into 6 left long, 50, gate, and 5 right of a crest long, 30, crest, 30, keep middle of a crest, 50, 6 left, very long, over crest, 50, crest, and 5 right long, opens of a crest, 150, over grid, over finish, off.